Alright, welcome back to the Jewel of Hope, Uncorral. So last time, a lot of shouting with the allegiance of the Orsight to try and get access to Calmaro, but still it has been rejected. As almost a compromise, the person you were talking to, Professor Whist, he says, well, bugger you basically, go check out the Lifedome here in the River District, because there might be an entrance there. And my camera is off. And now, oh, I'm going to click one more button for Okay, so where we left it off last time, you were on your way to the River District, where the Lifedome is. So, a mighty band of adventurers. What would you like to do?
We do really need a name. Okay, sorry, I was still doing my level up.
Sure.
I'm a little... All that fighting back there seemed to have discombobulated me, so someone else should take the lead. I don't know what's going on. I'm a little unhelpful here for a minute, guys, until I get my bearings.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling the exact same way. So we had the fight with the elephant, then we went back, we handed the elephant in, had a chat, decided to trust him.
And sorry, should have asked during your review, Malcolm.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Prolix?
Oh, he's somewhere in the Crystal Chateau, you assume?
Okay.
So, what would you like to do? The answer?
Hey, I don't know if that's our official name. That was just my idea.
I voted for the answer.
Yeah, we had a poll that we put up a few weeks ago, and everybody voted on the answer.
Mysterious.
Yeah, that's us.
So the other
We know
entrance
what
was
we're doing.
possibly at the Lifedome, you said, Malcolm?
Yep. Right up here.
To the Lifedome we go.
Okay. So leaving. And just a reminder about the life. You were given a contact there. I'm not sure if I mentioned. This person, I'll let you guys work out the pronunciation. I could probably look up the pronunciation guide. Carlisle? I'm going for that. Yeah, so you were recommended to talk to Carlisle Krugen, who's a gnome, who's a supervisor at the Lifedome. And I think some of you who are maybe from this area, I can't remember, but the Lifedome, no question of, you're literally in the middle of a desert. Like, you look outside of Uncorral, it's just desert, sand every possible way you can imagine. How could they possibly build a city here? And it seems that the Lifedome is a solution to their problem. There's an endless bound of water flowing out from below. Where it comes from, who knows? But the fact that it is there, they've stretched out canals that can grow crops here, can feed the population with the crops, and obviously water is a valuable resource for life. So, you head over to the Lifedome. And walking through them, it's just really beautiful here. A lot of people out there, people having fun, playing with their children, having picnics, and basically just living their best life. And So the Lifedome itself, um, it is literally a dome. There's a big, huge glass dome as you approach. You notice there's nobody actually in the dome. It's like closed off, and you can see the water flowing out for various agricultural purposes. And you look on the outside, looking for this contact of you, Carlisle Krugen, and yeah, you see a gnome kind of pottering around on the inside of the dome, of which there's no apparent easy way to get in there.
Sorry, Malcolm. I was still setting everything up. Whilst we were at the Crystal Chateau,
Mm-hmm.
Edward would probably ask the rest of the people if, guys, if we're going to a city underwater, I have to tell you, I'm not very good breathing underwater. I mean, the whole city is sunken, so um, how are we supposed to get even there? We can't breathe.
Edward, are we planning on going there today, specifically
I mean,
underwater?
yes. I mean, this river district. This might be our entrance to Kelmoro. If it is, I'm not quite sure how we're going to be able to breathe.
DM, out of game,
Mm-hmm.
has it been like from the time we left Betrayer's Rise and we teleported? If there had been a day, how many days has it been since then?
You arrived. You slept. This is the next day.
Okay. If we would it be fair to say that Bog would have had some idea that like we're trying to go there underwater tomorrow? Because I do have water breathing. It's just I knowingly would prepare it if we were gonna go. Otherwise, I'd have to wait a day.
It's fair. Yep. You want to
Okay.
take that spell?
We
I have
did.
no problem with that.
We did see an underwater city in the vision.
Right, and I mean there would have been time from when we teleported with Prolix until we actually went to sleep. So I think that probably came up. So yeah, so Bog to Edward. Don't worry, Edward. Um, I'm haven't totally mastered it yet, but I feel confident. I have a spell that can help us breathe underwater. Um, out of game, I don't know. Let me see how many people. Um, water breathing. Oh, um, as long as I have about 10 minutes to prepare it and cast it for us, we all should be able to breathe underwater. I can do up to 10 willing creatures. So now the swimming's another thing. Hopefully you can swim, but at the very least, if you sink, you'll be able to breathe.
Oh yeah, I'm the best swimmer in Alexandria. Don't you worry about that.
Of course. Sorry, I doubted you. Yes. Well, you'd be able to breathe.
This is why I pay you.
Ah,
Okay. So
Approaching
having
this
Mhm.
dome, sorry, on the picture, it seems like there's canals that go. The
Mhm.
water flows outwards from the dome or inwards.
outwards, like it's almost
Outwards.
a perpetual, almost like a geyser, water constantly rising up from the surface, and that what feeds the canals in the city and provides water for the citizens. So yeah, flowing out from the central dome.
So yeah, so all we have to do now is find Carlisle Krugen. She's a gnome. Professor Prolix said she'll be at the entrance.
You see a gnome pottering around on the inside of the dome. The dome is completely sealed and it looks very humid. There's a little gnome pottering around inside.
I wave at her. We're
Ah,
outside, right?
Yeah, you're outside. You wave at her, and she kind of gives a wave back. And yeah, so she she you see her take out a glowing quartz crystal, taps on part of the dome, and the dome kind of this little glass panel almost slides out the way, and you immediately see steam just leaving the life dome, and she taps it uh, again, and it closes up again. And she says, "Ah, hello. I really get visitors. What can I help you with?"
Hello. Am I right in assuming that you're Carlisle Kurgan?
Ah, yes, it is indeed me. A pleasure.
Edward.
Edward.
Pleasure is all ours. Yes, the Professor Prolix sent us. We come from Professor Prolix,
Yes?
Crystal Chateau. Well, yeah, we're interested in going to Kelmoro, but access to it is a bit hard to achieve. And he said that we might find some other way to get it underneath to the sunken city from the dome.
Oh, well, that's interesting. I know of no such a thing. But, yeah, you're more than welcome to come in and have a look around. To be honest, I don't get many visitors because it's just so damn hot and sweltering in there. You see, the beauty of the Life Dome is, sometimes the fount of water that we're on top of, sometimes it trickles and sometimes it rushes like a torrent. And through this ingenious device that I've designed, it kind of captures the water vapors and stores it and then dishes it out. It's truly fascinating. Yeah, come on inside. I'll give you the tour.
Yes, I'm curious. Seem well excited about this.
Okay, so
Sure.
Carlisle does the same thing. Holds up a thin shard of iridescent glowing quartz, and with a quiet hum, one of the dome's panels kind of alight with blue and purple arcane runes, which then flicker, which leaves an opening. And I assume you're all going inside. And as I said, the inside of the dome is humid and sweltering. Almost in stark contrast to the weather outside of the dome, which is hot and dry. This is definitely hot and sweltering. Very, very humid. And inside there is this lake, this thing that flows up from it, the water inside of it, and around it is some beautiful gardens, quartz crystal walkways. It's actually quite beautiful inside. The only thing that's off-putting is this incredible heat that's coming off it. Yes, this is my dome, and you notice how this humidity here, and she starts babbling off about the technicalities of the dome. Like, you notice there's a spigot there that is automatically pressured by this thing over here. When that raises more than 3 on that dial, this thing opens and the water flows through canal number 6B. And I see your blank eyes not really wanting this.
Oh no, it's very interesting.
Oh,
But
well.
I was also just really wondering, where does this water come from?
Well, it comes from underneath the city. I'm not sure how it got there, but it's just an endless flow of water coming up from below. As I said, sometimes it's just a trickle, we barely get any. Sometimes it's a torrent. But thanks to the ingenious invention of the Life Dome, the city gets pretty much consistent water. I've tapped into the power of nature and controlled it. I'm quite proud of the dome, in case you haven't noticed.
Can we
Well,
see?
and righteously so.
Can we see one of these places where the water's coming in from, like a geyser, I'm assuming, or one big enough that we could fit one of us, for instance?
Let me give you some perspective.
Also, Malcolm, Bog would be wondering, like, since we're looking for something underwater, and this is the path that's led to, like, if this person is just taking advantage of water below, or it's actually magic. So, can I roll for insight
Sure.
to like see if they're lying about where the water's coming from?
Yep, sure, absolutely. You believe every word they say there. Obviously
Okay.
excited about how the Lifedome works and giving you the thorough tour. Doesn't seem to be any nefarious in this gnome. Okay, to give you a visual on what it looks like, this is what it looks like.
Beautiful. Oh, and
Yeah.
so we see kind of this little hole in the bottom too. We can faintly see that,
What hole in the bottom, sorry? This is
like
where
in the yeah,
this is
that.
where
Like,
this is the hole where the water comes from. And you see kind
right.
of
Okay.
bubbling and brewing and condensating and flowing out through these little canal tubes here into the main outerways, then off into the city. So the whole thing is humming like clockwork.
Um, um, Miss Carlyle,
Ah, yes.
would it be okay if I inspect the waters?
Ah, well, if what you said is true, this is an entrance to Calamaro, well, number one, I'll be surprised. But number two, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Edward will say thank you very much, and he will summon Alexander. Whoops, that's the wrong token. He will summon Alexander. Also, I have to update my hit points on my token. I'll do that later. And he's gonna channel some more. You're gonna see from the tethers on that go from his fingers to the spectral image of his puppet. He's gonna channel some more energy, and Edward's eyes go blue, purple. And I can now see and feel through Alexander.
Okay.
And I'm going to submerge him into the water and have a look around, see if I see any place where the water's coming from.
But you can see through the...
I can now that I'm level 7, yeah.
Oh, you can now that you're level 7. Okay. Hey, make a perception check if you'd like.
Perception. Not investigation.
Nope.
Why is it that I don't have D&D beyond 20 enabled? Oh, here you go. Now I do. Well, natural 1.
You swim around for a little bit. You find nothing of note, just water flowing. And I gotta give you one of these.
Oh, I can't hear Sirenscape.
Oh.
But I think I know which button you pressed.
Have another one.
Yeah, I'm just gonna carry on moving him around. Whilst I do this, I can move the shadow up to 1,000 feet away from me, and he won't disappear.
Ooh, nice.
So I'll just continuously search for anything underneath.
Yep. Just a bunch of water as far as you can tell. Edward?
Yep.
Did you find anything?
I can't hear when I do this.
Hello? Hello? What's happening? Your friend's confused.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep looking for it for the next minute, so
Sure.
until like someone shakes me off of it.
I don't know. He's probably fine. Just let him be. He's got his odd moments.
Oh, all right. No problem.
Yeah, Caspian is just gonna take a walk around, just look into the water as well. Also, just seeing if there's anything of interest in the water. Or
But not
any,
going into the water.
not going in, no, just on the side of it.
Okay, sure. Make a say if you're looking into the water from outside, I'll make a perception check at disadvantage. Yeah, nothing much of note. You see Edward's shadow, Alexandra kind of wandering around inside there. And it appears to be just going in a circle kind of look, so we'll say centered around this area. Zooming around here.
And Malcolm, I would want to ask as well while they're all doing this. Ask Carlisle, um, is this the only opening to the water source here, or is there anywhere else the water comes from?
Well, this is by far the primary source of fresh water in Ankaral. See, the water originates from this flooded cavern deep below Ankaral. Now, these caverns are the same caverns where Kalmaro is located, so maybe, the thought was, I guess, if you could get to Kalmaro via the big hole in the ground over there, maybe here's too. Yeah. Well,
When
I guess this leads to the rumors and the idea that maybe this is another entrance to Kalmaro.
well, let's see. And when she says that, I'm just gonna jump in the water, and while I'm jumping, wild shape into an octopus.
Okay. Yes, so, oh my goodness. Oh, okay.
The small version, the small octopus.
Just a standard, not a giant octopus, just an octopus.
Yep, and swimming around and going up to the opening and looking at it. If it's big enough for me to go through, then I'm gonna go through it.
Okay. We have an octopus now, and
And I guess I should ask also. So Alexander has been just kind of like going around the bottom of the pool. Is that right?
uh,
Yeah, that's what he said.
that was his
Okay.
intention anyway.
So yeah, I'm just gonna plop on down and swim down. And
Okay.
I'm curious what it looks like, if it's dangerous, where it might go, and as soon as I find out where it leads or how safe or not it is, I'll come back. That's my
Okay.
intention.
Cool. You two can make a perception as an octopus.
As an octopus, okay.
+2.
Don't you retain your mental stats in wild shape?
That's true.
Is it true?
Your strength, dex, and con change.
The physical stats are whatever you wild shape into. Your mental stats are your own.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
that's the
good.
big difference between polymorph and wild shape.
Well, the good thing is my perception for both is +8. Octopi are very perceptive, I guess.
You get down good 50, 60 feet, and you find at the bottom there's a lot of sediment there. You kind of go and you feel the water flowing up through the sediment, almost like there's a whole bunch of sand right at the bottom of this. But the water can obviously, get through tiny, tiny gaps and it's flowing up. And you go around the entire bottom of it, poking with your 8 octopus arms, looking for any type of opening whatsoever. And you don't find anything. And you kind of dig a little bit into the sand. I imagine you're pretty efficient to do as an octopus. Go 5, 6 feet down into the sand. And with your perception roll of 23, this might be technically possible to get there, but it would take a massive excavation effort. Like you'd have to weeks, months even, to clear out enough sediment here, create a straight, swim down into the deeper areas of the cavern. Whole lot of sand at the bottom, which is discover bog.
Okay. And while I'm down there, that's my main revelation, right? There's nothing really else down here.
Definitely not an entrance that says Calamaro this way, Drowned City this way. No such signs.
Before I come up, I mean, do I see anything? Is it really just rock and sediment, or there's
Mhm.
no ruins of any kind down here?
Nope.
Items?
Nope.
Okay. Then yeah,
And Carlisle,
Yes.
have you ever seen anything else but the water come up from these ways?
No, just water. I mean, you'd expect some type of, maybe creatures of the depths to pop up every now and then, but I just haven't seen anything. Just water, water, and more water.
Can I insight check that?
Sure. Okay. Yeah. You believe him. He seems genuine. Nothing else has come up, and what he thinks. That's what he thinks anyway.
No, fair enough.
I mean, I will say to you though, Caspian, that there have been relics that have been excavated from Calamaro itself. Now, my theorizing is, this whole Calamaro situation in the Drowned City is, I theorize that the natural tectonics shifting have caused the city to slip below the surface. But the fluctuations of the water level, as I explained before, seem to defy expectation. Like as I said, sometimes a trickle, sometimes a torrent. But I think some type of tectonic activity might have opened up this drowned city. I'm not sure. But the fluctuations still puzzle me.
After a while, Edward is gonna stop seeing through Alexander. No, nothing. I can't see anything. And then he moves towards Caspian and he whispers towards him. Hey, Caspian, remember at Betrayer's Rise?
Yeah.
The place kind of reacted to your thing, the pendant.
True.
Maybe if we move the pendant around the water, maybe that will cause some kind of reaction. I can't see anything
Ready.
down there.
Think I should jump in?
Or you can pass it over to Alexander. He I pull a tether and he kind of jerks towards you. Hand extended. If you don't want to get wet.
No, I don't mind getting wet. Let's first. I'm quickly gonna put a hand on the prayer of the jewel of three prayers. I'm just gonna try to feel if it has reacted to this place at all.
Okay, so you place your hand on the chest and on the pendant, and you focus for a while. And you remember back in the Betrayer's Rise, it was almost pulling you towards the eventual prayer site. Wanted you to go in.
Mm-hmm.
Detecting no such thing. And you can make a Thalanor, you can make a perception check at disadvantage if you want. Don't notice anything out of the ordinary, Thalanor.
So I'll swim back up, and I'll kind of tentacle my way up the side, climb back up, and wild shape back or go back into bog.
Okay.
And yeah, just share. You can definitely enter there, and it's quite a swim to the bottom, but there's just mounds and mounds of sediment and sand on the bottom that would require a huge effort to dig through, and I really don't think it's any way we'd be able to get in there from the bottom.
That'd probably also be a bad decision as well. You might risk damaging the site below.
Carlisle, you mentioned I don't quite understand these things, but you mentioned um, a crack on the Earth,
Yes,
movement of tectonic plates. Is that what you said?
yes, that's what I'm theorizing. I mean, Ankarala has existed for a long time, much more longer than this Kalmaro situation. So my theory is there's some type of tectonic shifter, a mini earthquake, if you will, which has opened up access to this drowned city. It's not as if we've had this drowned city here for thousands of years and we just haven't bothered to examine it. It's a really recent phenomenon.
And this is the only place where water started pouring out.
Well, it's been pouring out here for thousands of years. I've perfected the Lifedome, but it's been here a while. Much longer than the drowned city, anyway. Well, much more than longer than the discovery of the drowned city, I should say. Hey, Bog, did you get my whisper?
Oh, I didn't know that was specifically to me.
Since it's yellow, yes it is.
Okay. So yellow, green. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore that.
No problem.
So yeah, after I come back up and I say that, and y'all have been talking, you would kind of notice Bog stop and kind of lick his finger and put it up to the air and just say, "There's a. It's interesting. This is a dome. It's closed off from the outside, but there is I feel a current of air in here." And I kind of turn to Carlisle and say, how is there a breeze in here? How's the air moving?
I literally have no idea. I mean, you did notice when you entered the dome, man, it's a sealed environment. There's no weather pattern. It's hot, humid, muggy, still air. Air current? That can't be right. Are you sure?
Where did
Do
you see it,
we-
Doc?
If I have some ash with me,
Mm-hmm.
it's an odd thing to have, right? I think I have ash. Is there like fine soil here?
Yeah. A very fine soil, in fact.
Right, I'm gonna grab some, throw it up in the air, and see how it settles to see if there's any general direction.
Okay. You throw it up into the air and it just falls to the ground. You don't notice like a breeze or anything moving it around.
Are you sure there's a draft?
Bog? You lost Bog? Zach, you
Can
still with
I?
us? Zach talking on mute.
Yeah, sorry. To myself. I'm positive it's not strong, but there's definitely something.
I look around to see if I see any drafts or any kind.
Hey, you can make a
Yeah,
perception check.
I'm gonna start investigating these plants as well.
Sure. You look around for maybe the source of this draft. It's kind of almost hard to make out anything around your immediate vicinity, Caspian. Like there might be a draft on the other side of the dome, but who knows with this thick kind of air. And you're investigating the plants, Edward?
Yeah, I'm also gonna try and find something odd. I don't want to destroy anything by doing that, so.
Okay. You know what, man? Make me a nature check as this is plant related. Nothing strikes you as something you all kind of know is the surface of the lake starts to churn, almost like the beach with white with foam. And Carlisle says, this is nothing to worry about. I just need to adjust some dials, and this should settle down. No problem. For no particular reason. And sorry, the water starts churning, and Carlisle says, don't worry, I can sort this out. I just need to get my arcade override. It's just right here in my pocket. Right? And he starts frantically searching around. Has anybody seen an arcane crystal? It's kind of blue and glowing. Please have a look. And as he's stepping around, the entire Lifedome, there's just churning, and then the whole thing erupts in a big geyser, and no saving throw for this. You all get thrown and tossed and cartwheeled out to various areas of the dome. Now, Thalanor, roll me a d8.
Uh-oh.
Actually, everybody roll me a d8. Thalanor, poof, you get thrown over there in the Lifedome. Bog. Push, down here. Edward. Edward, get thrown to the south. I'll roll another one for your shadow, if you like, Edward. 3, so your shadow ends up over here. Caspian 2 gets thrown up over here. And I'll say this one's for Daku. 4 down by Bog. Carlisle for this one. 6 there. Daku will just say there, and Kimek thrown back over here. So this tidal wave just erupts, almost fools the entire dome, then settles down a bit, and you're all thrown cartwheeling to the edge of the dome there. I'm going to need everybody to please
roll for initiative.
Okay. Okay, as you're momentarily grasping the whole concept of what the hell just happened. Wait, do we have everybody? Daku, right? Daku. And he rolled a 7. What did you? Kimek, right eye. The Kimek got a. as you're contemplating what the hell just happened, and you hear Carla, oh, that's most unusual. I simply don't know why that happened. Can everybody, for no particular reason, roll me a d20? Six, okay, 11, 9, Edward. One. Before any of you have a chance to be attacked, Edward, you notice there's this shimmering kind of it's moving through the mist. You don't see any physical presence, but the mist is definitely departing. And then these kind of swipes come out from something you can't really see. And it's kind of there, and you hear it saying, and at advantage, it comes and swipes out at you. 15. It just bounces off your armor, though, thankfully, Edward. And then you hear another attack coming. It goes, and it rolls a natural 20, and you feel this clip, boom, across your head, and it rings your bell, and you take 19 points of damage. Whoops. Second. Yeah, so boom! And also, Thalanel, a similar experience happens with you. You feel this invisible force, like right in front of you. You can't see it, but it does take a swipe at you twice with advantage. Rolls a 20. Does that hit Thalanel?
20 hits, yes. Because I don't have Shield of Faith on.
Okay, boom! Claps you around the ear and it rings. You take 9 points of damage. And you see this other misty, looks like an arm almost going through the mist of the dome. And it clocks you around the ears a second time for a 25, and you take 11 points of bludgeoning damage. And who is the other one? Bog. Bog, a similar experience happens for you. Some invisible force comes and takes one attack at you. You can't see where it's coming. It's hard to dodge. And it rolls a 19. Does that hit Bog? Mr. Muted Bog, I'm assuming.
Sorry. Yeah. No,
Yep.
it does.
So 8 points of bludgeoning damage. And then it hits you with an 18 for 8 points of bludgeoning damage. Now that you've got your bearing on it, you can see these creatures. They're still technically invisible, but you know where they are, so their attacks will have advantage against you, and your attacks against them will have disadvantage. Okay, so Kimmick. What do you guys think Kimmick would do?
She didn't get attacked, right?
No, she did not.
I mean, warping seems to go to, but there's no one in like crazy dire trouble. I mean, selfishly, she is closest to me, so if she sees me getting attacked, she'd probably just
Magic
support.
missile?
If she has fairy fire, that'd be convenient and helpful. Oh, magic missile too, huh? That's good.
Not. But yeah, I think magic missile would be fair. Bog! I don't know, but let me come help! And she's going to cast magic missile. Oh, there we go. Magic missile at 3rd level. Bog! I'm coming! And she's going to cast it. Hope that rolls all the appropriate dice. It doesn't. So first 3, 4, 5 of these. 1, 2, 3.
Can she do magic missile if she can't see him?
That's a good question. Look.
No, they like automatically hit.
Yeah, but a creature you see.
Yeah, I think you have to see the target, but you hit automatically.
That you can see. Okay, that is a good point. So she knows her spells better than I do.
Yeah.
Firebolt.
I mean, if she has Fury Fire, or if anyone has Fury Fire.
She doesn't. But she does have Firebolt, and it just says a creature within range. Instead, she's
Yeah.
going to cast Firebolt. And well, +7. Can't see it as a disadvantage again. 23 would hit. But a 14 will hit. I got you, Bog! Just stay still! And the fire just explodes, kind of evaporates even more water vapor around this creature. Okay, Edward, what would you like to do?
Yeah, ow, that hurts! As a bonus action, I will call Alexander, and I'll put him here.
Hit.
30 feet away, that's a bit too far. And what I'll do is I'll try and use my battle axe, because my greatsword isn't helping, and I'll try and swing twice at this guy.
Okay. At disadvantage. Swing 13 just misses. Swinging at nothing
That
but
was
air,
the
Edward.
First one.
Second one with your battle axe. Still at disadvantage.
Oh, I need to roll again. Sorry about that.
Take the first damage roll if it hits. And that hits you. Get some purchase on this creature. And you do
It's
what?
two-handed. I don't have a shield.
Okay, so 13 points of damage as you cut into it with your 2 swipes.
And I'll use. I think second wind is a bonus action, so that's it.
Yep. Heal up with second wind. Okay, very good. Caspian! What would you like to do? Being unaffected by whatever these things are.
Caspian is first gonna use his radiant soul to bamf out the beautiful wings, and then he is going to fly 10, 20, 30 feet closer to Bog and Edward, and he's still bloody far away.
Just, you're kind of standing in the wall of the dome there.
Oh, that's the wolf though. Ah,
Go there would be fine. Or there, yep.
and because 90% of my spells are now useless because they're invisible, I think, yeah, I just went through them. It's funny. I'm just gonna cast a twin firebolt, so
Okay.
one on each of them.
Say this one first. Oh, disadvantage. So 20 and a 16. They do both hit.
Okay.
So which ones were you targeting? This one? By Bog?
The one with Bog and the one with Edward.
So 16 on the one with Bog and 9 on the one with Edward as your 2 firebolts. Erupt across
16
the
and
battlefield.
10.
Yep, got it. 16 damage and 10 damage. Yep, and it is doing damage to these invisible stalkers, and it's not liking it at all. Okay. That's your turn, Edward? Oh, sorry, Caspian?
Caspian, but yet, yep, that's my turn.
Okay.
Oh,
Mhm.
one thing I forgot to do. The one near Bog takes 3 more radiant damage as well because of my radiant soul.
Okay. And I assume it's not concentration to fly?
No,
Okay, cool. So, how high are you off the ground? If anything.
10 feet, not very high.
Okay, we'll say you're pressing up right against the... Because the dome curves over, right? So you're pressing up right on the ceiling at that point. The 10 feet up in there, fantastic. Thalanor, this creature hovering in front of you once again. You hear some indistinct sounds coming from it as it swings an arm at you. rolls a 25 against you, Thelanor, and it is boom,
Ow.
does 15 points of damage, and then swings again, and oh my god, at advantage I roll a double natural one. That is a shocker. But first one,
thank you.
first one hits, second one double natural one at advantage. The one next to you, Edward, you hear that distinct sounds. The first one is a 22. The next one is a 25. Anything you can do about that?
Okay.
Okay, 22 points of damage. Okay, Thelanor.
What's everyone else doing?
Getting the shit beat out of them.
Looks like everybody's health is doing okay. Oh! Never mind. How far are you? Oh, I can't get to you, Ed. So I'm going to place my hands on myself and give myself 20 points of lay on hands.
Okay. It's an action, I believe.
Yep.
Do you stay where you are? Any bonuses?
And bonus action, I will do Shield of Faith on myself.
Okay, so your Shield of Faith pops up. Not magic missile, sorry about that. The Shield of Faith, so +2 to your armor class, but it is concentration. Shield of Faith, boof, goes up. Okay, the invisible stalker you almost see pushing through the bushes to get to your bog, and it takes one slam attack, rolls a 25 and an 18. You're muted again, Bog. Mr. Bog.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's right. So it's an 18 hit.
Oh yeah.
So 13 points of damage as this thing just slashes into you, pushing through the bushes. Okay, Daku. Daku. I think we'll have Daku taking a shot with his short bow, hoping to get some attack damage. Yeah. So he's going to get
I
out
think
his...
he'll be able to get sneak attack because he's got disadvantage.
Okay. I'm going to dash over this way anyway. In fact, he's going to use a bonus action to do a double dash as a thieves thing, and you're right, he's not going to get sneak attack damage. Yep, he's still going to take a shot with his short bow at disadvantage. Achoo! 21 and 14. I think a 14 hits. Yeah, so he lines it up carefully and says, Edward, duck! And he fires off his short bow and he does a total of 6 points of damage. No sneak attack damage. Shit, I wish I could see these things. Somebody, anybody! That'll be his turn. Carlisle. I wonder if Carlisle has Fury Fire. Nope. But he brings out this massive warhammer and gets right up next to the invisible stalker and starts swinging his warhammer. He's not able to get there in time though, so he doesn't get an attack, but he rushes over with a warhammer. I don't think he can do. Actually, he's going to do something on his way there. Roll for this. He says, "Get out of here, you fiend!" And he picks up this thing with some magical ability he has, and he throws it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 30 feet out of it, says, "Get out of my dome!" and throws it away from you, Edward. Bog, your turn.
Can he still
Alright.
walk that far if he does that?
Get out of my dome! And he throws him down here, we'll say. That's a good point. Okay, Bog.
So I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire only, and I'll angle the cube in a way that it only hits him.
Okay.
And he has to make a DC 16 Dex, or else he can be seen.
Okay, he rolls a 14, which is not a
Nice.
good roll because he has a +4 to that. So that's concentration, Bog.
Yeah, that is.
And what color does he glow?
Oh, let's say like a green.
Okay. This guy is fairy-fied. That will be your action, though.
And then as a bonus action, I'm gonna do this Firbolg ability.
Cool.
I'm gonna magically turn invisible, and then I will go my 30 feet over here.
Okay, and you need to be able to see creatures to take attacks of opportunity. You do not. Just woof, disappears away, and that's only one round, of course, but got you away, casting the spell. Kimmick will now see this creature. So just a normal attack roll from Kimmick. Keep in mind, if you make a bad roll, Kimmick's going to try and undo it, just in case I forget. Anything apart from... Oh, she can see it now. So she's going to cast Magic Missile at 3rd level. So that's going to be 3, 4, 5d4 plus 5. Thank you, Bog! She cast the Magic Missiles, and this time she finds her target. Not a great roll there, but 15 points of damage as these things just explode on top of her. Edward, Carlisle is giving Carlisle... The person is giving you a brief respite away from this creature. What do you do?
I rush back towards where I heard it thump against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I pick up this vase if I can,
Uh-huh.
throw it on top of him to cover him with dirt so I can see where he is.
Okay, good idea. There was definitely a vase worth of dirt there. I think we're just
Topple
making...
it out right on top of him.
You're making a... Just make an attack with your normal weapon.
So
Those would be an
I can
unarmed.
do athletics, acrobatics, an attack, just a strength-based attack.
Actually, strength doesn't make sense. Let's have a look. You're picking up dirt. Yeah, I'll say athletics, actually. Athletics.
Okay, athletics. Coming right up. Yes!
Or maybe. I'm going to see if we can avoid it to push the pot aside from you. There's a plus. Well, it needs a natural 20 to do this. See if we can roll a natural 20. Nah, never mind. So you push the dirt over this thing. Now I'll put an eye, because you can actually see this one now. So this one is purely visible. Classic invisible man tactics, dumping the stuff over top of him. He's fully visible.
And bonus action, swap place with Alexander.
Okay, nice move, Edward. I love it. Caspian, what do you do? Flying 10 feet in the air.
Caspian is gonna take a small step over here, take proper aim, and he's got both of them nicely in a line to cast lightning bolt.
Okay, cool. And it's within range? Get the last
Yep,
one.
100 foot.
Okay, wow,
And
very
he's
nice.
90 feet away.
Okay, so we'll make 2 dex saving throws. They roll a 5 and an 8. So you can roll full damage on that if you like.
Don't destroy the dome!
Yeah, I'll try to. have not got this one set. So,
86. That's pretty good. Alright, so your lightning bolt zooms across, illuminates this first one with the fairy fire, and the second one bites it as well for 30, total of 64 points of damage. Amazing, Caspian. And I press the lightning bolt button again because that was so cool. Okay, is that the end of your awesome turn?
no, I'm gonna fly a little bit closer to Thalanil.
Okay, I'm assuming you're still 10 feet up in the air. Okay.
Yeah, indeed.
Speaking of Thalanil, this thing, you've got your Shield of Faith up. This one is the only one that's now fully, still invisible. Rolls a 23 to hit you.
Ow, that still hits.
Okay, so first of all, take 13 bludgeoning and make me a con saving throw, DC 10.
Should be able to make this.
Do this.
Oh. So a natural 1 is the only way you'd fail it, but it is possible. And the mist parts once again, and you see this almost an unholy face made up from this mist. And this time it only rolls a 17. So you managed to dodge it the second time, which is good. Now the one by the shadow. These seem really smart. Doesn't like shadows, it decides. This would be a straight attack roll. Rolls a 21, which I believe will bamf out Alexandra.
Yep.
Okay. Now you notice this thing start approaching you, and it doesn't actually use the bridge. It's actually hovering slightly over the water. And with a 50-foot hover speed, it can get over to you, Edward, and it's going to attack you. And the mist, you can see it now. This dirt just kicked all over. It tries to shake it off, but enough of it remains that it's mechanically visible, and it slams into you as a normal roll, which will still hit with a 12. With a 21, doing 12 points of damage.
I'm down.
Edward goes down. Okay. Check some.
Could Kevin
Okay.
revert that?
Oh, she can. Yeah, so she will use her reaction, and it just has to re-roll, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so good point. So, yeah, so it's your twist time. It'll come with another slam attack. Oh, this time it rolls a 12. So take those hit points back.
Back to life.
Okay, yeah. Still gets a second attack, though.
No, the first attack was on the shadow.
Oh, you're right. So, your old buddy, Chemic twist time and brings it back. Okay, that was smart. I like it. Thalanil.
I'm kind of by myself up here.
What I like about this encounter, everybody gets separated.
Don't have any way to make them visible, I don't think. Just gonna take a couple of blind stabs in its direction.
Okay, disadvantage, obviously.
Yep.
Okay, first attack, 15 hits as you hack into it, get a little bit of purchase, doing 5 points of damage. Oh, and the second one, both of those hits are for another 6 points of damage.
The second one misses, it's an 8.
Oh, you're right, it's an 8. I'll give it that. 6 hits points back. So the first one gets a purchase on it. The second one, though, swing and a miss, being nothing but air.
And I'm going to dissipate in a burst of stars. I'll teleport 30 feet away. And I'll move 20 feet close to my friends.
Oh, that's a good idea. We'll do that when it comes around to Kimmik. That's an excellent idea. Okay, but regardless, Thalanor takes a swipe, teleports away. Hey, cool. The one by you, Bog. It doesn't see you. It knows where you are as you rustle through the trees. Yeah, it's going to come chasing after you. Will be a disadvantage, of course, because you're invisible. Disadvantage, the first one is an 8, just swinging at air. The second one, I rolled a natural 20 and an 18. So that'll be a 24 to hit Bog. And 9 points of damage. Oof. And a concentration check. DC 10. The Constitution saving throw, DC 10.
Oh, con saving throw?
Con save, yep. DC is 10. Ooh, you just make it. To maintain concentration on this fairy-fied creature.
And I'm no longer invisible.
Isn't that the end of your turn?
No, it's if I'm forced to... Wait. You attack, deal damage, or force a saving throw. Oh, you're right. Yes, I'm good.
If you force them to make a saving throw.
Yeah, but you didn't. Okay, Daku is going to take a step back and says, Edward, you're a genius! And he is going to attack and hopefully get sneak attack damage as he fires off his short bow. Pichoo! Let's have a look. 12 misses. Pichoo!
At advantage against the very fired one?
Oh, he was going for this one. I'll tell you what. Let's do 1 to 10. He will attack the one by Edward. Okay, so we'll go for the one by Bob because that is the more sensible decision. So I'll just roll again on the short bow. Is it advantage or is it just normal now? Like a fairy fire reveals an invisible creature. I think it's just a straight roll, isn't it?
It's
But he also still has the glitters.
an attack roll against has advantage.
Can you bring up that fairy fire spell?
Would get the invisible gives disadvantage, so it'd probably cancel out, I think.
Oh, sorry. I don't know.
I think it turns invisible creatures visible, and after
Oh,
that,
right.
it is
It
advantage.
says that they can't benefit from the invisible condition, so yeah, it would be
No,
advantage.
it doesn't really say that though.
Well,
So
it
it
says that
just
they can't benefit from the invisible.
if
I know
the
one of the spells
attacker
does.
if the attacker can and the affected creature can't benefit from being invisible. Oh yeah, so the if can see it is more just like a cover thing.
If the attacker can see it, affected
And then the next
creature
line.
can't. That's
The affected creature or object can't benefit from being invisible.
So the entire invisibility is just gone.
I think what they mean by if the attacker can see it is if you're blinded, you're not going to get advantage,
Or if it's like
If you're
covered,
blinded or if it's behind cover.
or if it's fully covered. Yes.
But at this point, both attack rolls were a miss, so
Yeah.
so not very relevant now.
Technically, it can still try to hide even though it's not actually invisible.
okay. Here's the official ruling. According to lead rule designer Jeremy Corford, attacks have advantage against invisible creatures affected by fairy fire. So that's the official ruling. Regardless, so Daku does get advantage, but he's firing blanks. It's a miss. Okay. Carlisle will wish he had.
it'll be done by then. Oh, sorry.
Sounds like dinner or something, dear Bog. Okay. Let's see if she gets her ability back in here. She doesn't. 1, 2, 3, She can just push through the bushes to get there. And she brings out this mighty warhammer. She swings it once, says, "Get out of my dome!" Hits the creature once. I said, "Get out!" Hits it twice. Swings again, hits it 3 times. Only for 12 points of damage, but you're impressed how annoyed Carlisle is that these creatures are in her dome. Get out of my dome! Bog.
Alright. Not dinner. Soccer practice. We'll be all done by
Okay.
then. Okay, I'm going to use my bonus action. I'm no longer invisible. I'm going to use my
Okay.
bonus action to wild shape into a giant constrictor snake.
Ooh, nice.
Sorry, I should have told you ahead of time how hard it is to get a token for that.
That's cool. See, wild shape.
And then I'm going to use like the back half of my body, my tail, I guess, to constrict him, or I'm going to try to rather.
Get the snake
So,
on.
I think that
Take
does.
control of that snake. In it. Bog. Okay, you have control of that token now.
There we go.
You can
So
try and
I
constrict
will-
him.
I assume that hits.
Roll again because it's at advantage. Might be a crit.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that does hit. Yep.
And
Yeah.
then, so the target, so it takes that much damage.
It does
almost
take
back.
the 13 damage, but unfortunately
then-
your snake just can't get a grip on it. Too amorphous. This thing is immune from being grappled, restrained. Just can't get a grip on it, Bog.
Okay, so I guess it hits into it, but it can't be restrained.
Yeah. You kind of squeeze it and then it kind of pops out, just ethereal, floats away almost.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be my turn.
Cool. Akimik will say, Thelanil, do you want to come over here? I can move you.
If I can go right here, if she can.
Oh. Let's have a look at her ability. The spell.
It's 90
It's
feet.
a spell if it's vortex warp. She's close enough. Ooh, I am just within range.
Oh no, it's
90 feet.
90 feet.
Vortex warp thing.
And it's crazy. I mean, technically, if they're like 120 feet away, but you can see them, could that still work?
Oh. I was looking
Spell
at
range is
Thelanil.
only 90.
Thelanil, you don't have vortex warp, it seems. I'm looking at the wrong character sheet. Okay, let's have a look at the description of this. I assume you're going to choose to fail.
If I know that it's Kamek doing it.
Well, she did say, "Hey, Thelanil, I want to teleport you." That you can see within range. I think Thelanil just has to be within 90 feet, which she is. And she can put it any spot within range? I see within range.
Yeah.
So you pick up a target anywhere in 90 feet, which is me. And then she could put me anywhere in that 90 feet.
Thelanil, where would you like
That
to
you
go?
can see.
That you can see, yeah.
Ideally, I'd probably like to be right here.
Okay, you can go right there.
Wait, I think they should be able to benefit from my aura. Ooh, not quite.
Oh, let me display your aura. There you go.
You know, can she teleport me right there?
I'm telling you, you can put yourself wherever you like. You can make the decision.
I'll go right there.
Okay. Alright, so Thelanil casts Vortex Warp, and you watch Thelanil just magically appear here. I got you, bud! I'll stay close with friends! She takes a few steps. Edward, There's dirt-covered invisible stalker right before you.
Yeah, and I am pissed at this guy. As a bonus action, I bamf out Alexander right behind him.
Mhm.
Look here, I don't know what you are, but you're starting to piss me off. And I'm gonna swing at him.
Okay. Straight
Once.
roll.
Oh, sorry. That should be 12. I'm using the battle axe. The 12 doesn't hit.
12 no doesn't hit. Sorry, yep, the battle axe it
Yep.
just
I'll
swings
roll
wide.
My second attack,
17 does get purchase.
two-handed, and I'm going to use Alexander from behind to do an extra attack as well.
Cool. T2, cool. So another 10
And
points.
I action surge. And do
Hold
it
up a
all
sec.
over again.
How are you getting the 3 attacks out?
Let me link that for you if I can.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. I just want to clear about it.
It's called. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong tab. This. Can I show this? There you go.
I think they attacked you. Heighten your when you take an attack, make one additional melee attack from the echo's position. Okay, so it's a limited thing. Cool.
Yeah. So
Okay, cool.
I attacked once, twice, then use that, then action surge,
Yep.
do it again.
Go for it.
I attack, that's my first one.
That hits. 6
My
points of
second
damage.
one, and I'll use Unleashed Incarnation again.
Okay.
And all of these are two-handed, right?
Yeah. That's another 12
The
points
last
of
one
damage.
is
Oh, no. Sorry. Oh, yeah. I was looking at the second attack. Okay, so you do a total with your action surge of 18 points of damage. Still standing, unfortunately, Edward, despite you just hacking into it. Yep, still standing. Beefy. Okay, so unless you want to move, which I assume you don't, Caspian, it's your turn.
Guess we're gonna do box style. And I'm gonna call out to Thalanil and Edward. Just let it happen. And I'm gonna twin cast polymorph and turn both of them into giant apes.
Are you okay with that, Thalanil and Edward?
At this point, I trust Caspian, so if he says just let it happen, let's see what
It
happens.
is. It's like a zoo in here now.
Yeah.
And this is literally what you get. And I'm going to give control of both of these tokens to Thalanil. Thalanil. And... okay, yeah, so, we'll say... this one, which is slightly blue, is Edward. And this one that is slightly green is Thalanil. Justice, be clear. But Thalanil will just move you over here. Edward will just move you over there. And I guess it's kind of looking like that. Yeah, we'll go for that. Wow, very, very cool.
And then Caspian just kind of backs off like, this is gonna go crazy.
Alright, but it's quite an odd experience for both of you as your bodies, get big muscles, things snap, things twist, and you get a lot bigger, turning into moving, thumping machines. Okay.
And one final thing, Caspian is gonna shout, just be careful with the dome.
Okay, this invisible stalker all by itself can move 100 feet. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 with a dash, that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it gets right up next to Daku. That's as far as it can get, though.
Is this a giant ape?
Yeah, giant ape. Yep.
Alright, they're quite intelligent actually.
And they pack quite a punch, too. Okay.
So is it our mental stats or the ape's mental stats?
It's polymorphs, it's all ape. I'm full
All
ape.
ape.
Is there not like a CR limit to that?
I think it's our level.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. Wow.
However, I still have my Shield of Faith, and I should have my Aura, I think.
Yep.
Good. So put you concentrating on there. Okay, so
Sheesh.
Thing sees a giant ape. What would I do in Invisible Store? I'm going to try and hit the giant ape. Just at straight rolls. Gracie is 12, so both of those are going to hit. So Edward the ape, you can take 26 points of damage. This is indeed a zoo. Valinor.
Try out this new body that I became weirdly transformed into. And we're gonna try to pound on this thing in the middle between us.
Alright.
Bizarre feeling of turning into a giant monkey.
First fist attack. See it coming. Yeah, 27 hits, 16 hits, and you just squish this thing between your fist and it turns into a little, just dissipates into the air. You do have a second attack. I think you can do another fist attack if you like.
Oh yes, I do. Let's see, I was basically back here, I think. 15.
There's one right behind Daku.
Are you guys rolling at advantage or disadvantage?
This one was a straight roll because it was covered in dirt.
Oh, nice.
This one will be disadvantage, and this one would be advantage. They've got all the combinations.
Actually, yeah, I can't see that one, so I'm gonna go over here and punch this one.
Okay.
Way to show up my wild shaping there, Caspian.
Well, because you have advantage on that one does hit, and that one poofs out of existence as well. Just Eleanor, you're just going on a rampage. Boosh, 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 boosh. To be fair, one was on 13 hit points, one was on 14 hit points, so...
I have 40 feet of movement.
Teamwork.
Let's see if I... That right.
Yeah, that guy's dead. Daku doesn't like the invisible stalker there.
I think Daku would just get out of there.
I think you're right. I'm going to take the disengage action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, shoot from far, guys! Delano. Oh, sorry, Carlisle. I can't see anything. There's a giant ape in my way. Bog. Bog the snake.
So I slither. So this one's still invisible, right?
Yep, the only one that's up, which is this one, is invisible.
So question. I mean, depending on what has happened in the battle, I feel like this wouldn't be metagaming, but like, I know he's there.
Mhm.
But if I want to de-wild shape and cast Fairy Fire, like, is it feasible that maybe like as he's like walking along, like running along the stone, like maybe he's kicking up some dirt, so I know kind of where he is?
No, you know where he is because
Okay.
of his kicking up stone and moving through the mist. This is rules
Okay.
as written. You actually know the location of the invisible creature. You know exactly where it is because of environmental effects, but you're still at disadvantage to hit it.
All right. I am going. Seeing as I look around, see it's only one. I de-wild shape. I'm
Mhm.
gonna cast Fairy Fire again in this, over this guy,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and I'm really hoping to see some green light on him if he rolls under 16.
Does that answer your question? What a 50.
Nice.
Invisible sort of becomes visible.
So I dropped Wild Shape, my bonus action. I cast Fairy Fire, and now I'm going to. My health is low, so I'm going to jump in the water over here.
Nice. Sploosh.
That's my turn.
Okay, cool. So hiding almost inside of the water. Kimmick.
Hey, Bog, why you go on the other side there?
Kimmick's gonna see their thing, and she's going to cast her firebolt. Oh no, she's gonna cast magic missile. She loves her some magic missile. At a 3rd level spot, so she'll cast it at 2nd level.
Wait,
That's-
Thaldanil should have gone somewhere else.
If you had moved closer to Daco and Kemek, I probably could have gotten both of them in my aura too.
Oh, well, hopefully no one's gonna hit me anyway, so I'm down.
Magic missile is cast. So that's very middling. So the arcane bolt explodes over the creature for 14 points of damage. Caspian, the angel with wings. What would you like to do?
I think you skipped.
Caspian is
Oh, sorry, I did. I skipped Edward. My apologies. Edward.
Yeah.
Edward the ape.
Well, Edward is going to look at his new hands. This is new for him. He's gonna look at Thaldanil. He's going to ape together strong, and he rushes towards this guy, and he just fists him. Do I have advantage?
You do?
Polymorph, do we still have access to our class features?
Yep.
Depends what they are, I think.
Oh.
That hits. Boof. Set advantage. Roll again. You might get a natural 20.
Why? Now we roll with advantage.
We'll take that as
So-
your first attack, and we'll do the first roll as they always do. So 29 points of damage. Boozoosh. Of course, have a
I'll
second
roll the
fist attack at
second
advantage.
attack.
10 will miss and an 11
Wow.
will miss. Not used to this new form.
1 and a 2.
Not good. But still, boozoosh. Do smash it. Now it's now Caspian's turn. Caspian.
Caspian is just gonna cast Firebolt.
At advantage.
It's very simple. Ooh,
Oh, there we go. 22 points of damage. Nice.
25 plus the 3.
Plus a 3. Okay, this thing is looking pretty damn damaged. It's got gold hit point tanks here. And it wants to be nasty. Vicious. Knows the battle is lost. Be nasty. It is going to. Can it do that? It does. I'm going to go right past the giant ape and fly over to Bog. Ape, you may take a swing at it if you like.
Okay. I was just about to ask. Do I have advantage? Crap.
Yes, you do.
I rolled without advantage. I've rolled a 1, a 2, and now a 3.
Come on, where's the 4? Set advantage, so roll again.
Well, I might roll a 4. Oh no.
There we go. Oh,
Oh.
nice damage.
Wow.
It's 22 damage, right? Because it's the first one.
Yeah, okay, but still, nice roll. So you take a massive. Yep.
And his speed is 0. As I just boom, smack him to the floor, punch him down. My sentinel feat reaction. Can't move.
Curse your sentinel. Fine, I'll attack the giant ape. The giant ape gets hit twice for a total of 21 points of bludgeoning damage. Not that I think it's going to matter, because other big ape is probably going to finish this thing off.
Okay, even if he got the bog, he wasn't going to be hitting bog anyway.
Well, I was going to give Bog 3/4 cover because he did say he snuck under the water, but he didn't get over there.
I would have used my reaction to have the damage be done to me instead of bog.
Sure.
I'm gonna run up on the other side of this thing, and as Ed Ape is kind of like swinging away, pounding at this thing, and like smacks it to the ground. Colonel Ape is gonna run to the other side and almost leaps on top of him
Yep.
and just like starts pounding him into the ground.
Hey, make an attack at advantage.
Attacks.
Sentinel.
How do you want to do this?
There's my crit.
Yeah, the first one takes it out, but you can pound him into the ground if you like.
Like King Kong style, just like comes fly jumping over to the air, lands on top of this thing, and just starts punching it into the pavement here. It's like pounding like cracks into it until it like leaves a small crater.
Small crater indeed. As let's take a short break, and we'll come back in 5 or so minutes. Sound good, guys?
Sure.
Bog a moment to sort out his technical issues. But we will just carry on in the meantime. Carlisle says, "Oh my goodness, that has never happened before. Kamek, little uncomfortable around these massive apes. Caspian?
I'll drop concentration.
Boomf. Boomf. Oh, thank you.
That's a bit of a weird feeling.
Yeah, but
Really
it does
experienced
make you a
creatures
bit
like
more
that
robust.
since really experienced creatures like that since Arborea.
I feel like I need to eat bananas for some reason.
I guess they'll fade. It'll fade. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that was both weird and awesome, by the way. I never had so much strength in me.
Have any powers of creatures that have a bit higher intelligence and charisma?
Well, that's as smart as they go into the things that I can transform you.
It's good to know you can. That was awesome, really. That changed the tide. I nearly. That guy. What was that? It's like the mist itself was attacking us. Have you seen that before, Carlisle?
No, I haven't, but I have my suspicions about who might be behind this attack. See, I assume you're familiar with the Consortium of the Million Dream. I assume you know those people. You had any dealings with them at all?
We know some friends that work for them.
Well, I
Met them
don't.
before.
I see. I think it's either them, but I suspect it's this other group. We say like the Consortium of the Million Dream. They want these artifacts that are being harvested from Calamaro. That's one of the things they want. But don't want to stop the exploration. Is this new group of people come up, call themselves the Sentinels of Memory. And their motto, their guiding principle is let the past die in peace. And they are opposed to this drowned city, to anything coming out of Calamaro. I suspect it's those people behind this attack. Want Calamaro closed up and ignored. Said, your motto, let the past die in peace. So maybe word got out that you're going to maybe open up a possible entrance to Calamaro. And maybe whoever overheard that might have sent these creatures out to stop you. You know, anybody who would...
So you think this was an attack?
Well, it definitely was an
Orchestrated
attack. Yes. And I think the Sentinels of Memory are behind it. They want this place closed.
But,
Calamaro closed.
So those things that attacked us,
Yes.
is that like a spell? Is that something that someone can just cast, or
I
do you
think
require something
summoned.
special?
Summoned would be the correct word. Now,
So whoever's behind it has both knowledge and power.
knowledge of you coming here in the first place, perhaps. Who did you mention this to?
Well, there was Professor Prolix.
Okay. Anybody else?
And the woman that suggested us coming here, Lymel. Lionel Wist.
Well, there's two
Karma
very...
was the one who told us to come here. We haven't spoken to anyone on the way over here.
She was the one that said there might be an entrance here to Kelmoro.
Well, as I said, Prolix, Professor Wisp, both very respected members of the Allegiance of Foresight. Not necessarily like right at the top of the food chain, but very well respected. I am Tullius, not one of those two. Did you mention anything on the way? Did you talk to people on the way here?
I forgot. Did we mention it to Ayojabi and Maggie that we were coming here? I think we did, right?
As a DM?
I don't think so. Did we?
No,
And
that
you,
conversation was before.
you're talking to
I
Crystal
think we talked to
Chateau,
him before.
and you kept on insisting we want to go to Calmoro, and he said, screw it all, go check out this, maybe you go to Calmoro. And so you went straight from the Crystal Chateau to here. So you did not mention it to Ayo Jabe and the rest of it.
Unless we've been spied on, those are the only people that knew we were coming here. And out of the two, Professor Prolix, he's been with us through a lot. But we've only just met Professor Lima Wiss.
As I said, very, very doubtful. But let's assume that you're true. Let's assume that by some remarkable sequence of events, Professor Mist is behind this. What can you realistically do about it?
Is out of character. Is Professor Lima Wist? She was the one that was going to give us access to more knowledge in the Allegiance of Allsight, right?
Yeah, and she was going to get you access to Calamaro itself. But not yet. And she sent you on this mission with the thought that maybe this was an entrance. Looks like it wasn't an entrance, but that's what she asked you to investigate.
Well, all we can do is report back, right? There doesn't seem to be an entrance here. We've searched everywhere we could. There doesn't seem to be anything in here worth investigating.
Well, let's just
Furthermore,
go
I'm
back.
now concerned for Carlisle. You know? If you were the target of this attack, I mean, it doesn't seem like it. They were mostly targeting us. But would you be safe here on your own? I think you should ask for more guards.
Well, as the keeper of the Lifedome, I can definitely get some members of the Hands of Ord, the local constabulary. They can maybe put some guards up, but yeah, I mean, attacks on the Lifedome are unheard of, right? It's literally, attacking the life of the city. So I don't imagine any residents of the city would attack. But yeah, these types of attacks within the Lifedome, seemingly targeting you, is the most uncomfortable. But I'll get some Hands of Order. I'll be fine.
Is there any authorities we should report these to?
Hands of Order once again.
Sorry, what was that?
Hands of Ord, which are the local police force here.
Let's just first go back and speak to our task giver and see what he has to say about this.
Is it okay if we just rest here for a while?
Oh, yeah. Put your feet up. As long as you can handle the temperature, bit of humidity, but yeah, rest up. That doesn't bother me, but I've been inhaling these fumes for a while now, but yeah, yes. Feel free to rest up. Sounds suspiciously like you want to do a short rest.
Yeah, I'm beaten up.
Okay. So yeah, feel free to relax around the very humid life dome. Roll some hit dice and take one of those beautiful short rests.
I had to put something in chat real quick before I took my short rest.
And Bob will want a short rest when he...
I am all sorted.
Okay.
I'm all out of hit dice.
Excellent. Okay, so resting up. I mean, you guys have been going for a while. I mean, the elephant, the crystal chateau, into these invisible creatures.
1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2. We haven't. We have enough. So, I guess kind of towards our short rest, like over 10 minutes. I'm gonna try to rally us together with a little pep talk to kind of get us going for the rest of the day. It's an inspiring speech.
Nice.
I know it's been a long, hard day, everyone. If we can just keep ourselves together, a lot stronger if we work together. Be sure to find the sunken city and help this Alexian person.
How many temporary hit
Is-
points is that? Gives us?
That is 12 temporary hit points to all of
Oh
us.
wow. That's awesome.
Just, I mean, Bog's on 7 hit points, so we'll assume he takes a short rest and I'll remind him to get those 12 temporary hit points back as well. When he...
As well as spend any of his hit dice that he wants to spend.
Yeah, that dice as well, yeah.
So since we're resting, Thalana's going to take off her armor in here because it's a bit too hot to really rest.
Absolutely.
Currently, she's wearing big, heavy, bulky chainmail.
Cool. And I noticed, Thalano, you did in chat or something that it's going to be difficult to swim in this big, heavy, bulky armor. Mechanically, makes no difference. Rules as written. You can swim just as well in full plate armor as you can in the swimming clothes. So, mechanically, don't worry about it. Okay. So
For RP wise, though, I'm going to sink like a rock.
Cool. Well, RP stuff is encouraged, of course. Okay, so you leave the tranquil environments of the river district, leaving Carlisle. You see she summoned some hands of Ord because it's so practical, and I'm waiting. Thalanel, what am I waiting for?
But before we just leave, is
Sure.
all. Maybe staying for an extra 10 minutes if that's okay.
Oh, absolutely.
It might be during, but you can continue.
Okay.
Basically, I'm just gonna be calling my fine steed again.
Cool. Okay, we'll assume you have your fine steed summoned. Problem. Okay. So you're heading back to the Crystal Chateau?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, Daku! You made it!
You woke
Late,
up.
but yes. Hello, everyone.
Hey, man.
Everything
You missed
good?
our visit to the zoo.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, first of all, are you okay? You're quite late. Is everything good?
Daku's player, me, unfortunately, didn't quite get the right amount of sleep last night, so
Ah,
I will be playing mobily for the time being, because I gotta check my puppy, too.
sure.
But I'm good. I don't know how much longer you plan on going, but I'm here.
Okay, we've got about another
To
hour and a
happen with
quarter.
to happen with Amber's player on Wednesday.
Yes, players. Well, I think both you guys work night shifts, right? So it
Yep.
can play havoc on your schedules. Who wants to give a recap for Daku about what happened so far?
I can do
Visited the
that.
zoo.
Yeah, we went to the half dome. That is the original place of all the water, basically, which is just one sort of well that pumps up water from. I always forget the sunken city that we're planning to visit.
Elmuro.
And yeah, we were sent there by, oh man, names. Um, what's his name again?
So whose name? Carlisle? Mr. Wist?
To
Professor Whist.
Professor West, I
Professor
think, yeah.
Whist, of course, told us to go there to the Lifedome because there might be second entrance to the city below. And once we got there, we met a friend named Carlisle, who was very eager to tell us all about the Lifedome because he was the chief engineer or something like that, and very enthusiastic. Then we were just plodding along. Some people were swimming in the waters, octopus form, some were just walking around, and well, we didn't really find anything that could lead down or that's really interesting until at a certain point the water that came up started really bubbling and became a bit too much. So uh, Carlyle thought he could stop it with his magical device that controlled it, but then all of a sudden it was gone. The geyser that was created wiped us out in all different directions, and then we were, of course, attacked by 3 invisible stalkers,
Oh boy.
which was a bit of a pain, but things were going semi-okay, but then people started to get low on hit points. Bog decided to turn into a giant constrictor snake. So at that point, Caspian thought, well, we need more animals. So Caspian turned both Edward and Talanil into giant apes. So
Oh,
then it was a bit of a zoo inside. And at that point, we were able to make short work of those. And afterwards, we had a bit of a chat because these attacks were very much pointed towards us. and basically we didn't really talk to anyone else except Professor Whist about that we were going here. So now we're just heading back to him and decided to have a chat. Just to see what's up.
Well, first of all, bravo recapping, Edward.
Yes, thank you. I usually do the recap, so I appreciate it. Thank you, David. Yeah.
Second off, question for Malcolm.
Yes.
I jokingly said in general that, I think it was a couple weeks ago, but I was like, oh, Daku's not going to be there. He's going to be doing a hit. But would Daku have been there for like the whole thing? Or,
Yes.
okay,
Daku
sounds
was there
good.
shooting arrows, so we can get to that probably next week.
Okay. All right, sounds good.
Okay. Yes. So you start making your way out of the tranquility of the river district. Start heading into the Sand Hill district, and okay, and Selenil, you notice as you're approaching the Sigil district and the Crystal Chateau, someone seems to be following you, and they're doing a terrible job of it. Someone is following you. You spot them quite easy. Passive perception of 16.
Oh, can I help you?
So you just approach them and say, sorry,
Kind of like stop and call out to them.
it's me. And you see it's actually Prolix. Prolix is, look, just, Delano, just, look, can we talk somewhere privately, please? This is important. Not the Crystal Chateau, though, somewhere else.
Of course. Want me to get the others as well?
Yes, all of you. You're my friends.
I try to
think I
very
need your help.
subtly try to very subtly flag down the rest of the party.
Okay. Do so successfully.
I kind of motion him to like the kind of dark corner, maybe like behind where Prolix is.
Okay. Okay. This is good. Look. I know something happened at the Lifedome. Can you explain to me exactly what happened, please?
Oh, got attacked by something invisible. We splashed them with dirt and a fairy fire. They kind of looked intangible wisp forms.
Oh, that's. I see you're all here, so I'm very happy everybody survived, but. Edward, Caspian.
You know what could have happened?
Yes,
What
sorry.
could have happened? Limowist is the only one who knew that we were going over there.
And myself, of course, but listen, I think someone is trying to frame me for the attack at the Lifedome. And Professor Westmond, don't be ridiculous. Very well respected. But listen, earlier today, a thief snatched my satchel as I was walking down the street. Now, I reported the theft to the hands of Ord and just went about my business. A few hours later, someone used a sending spell to notify me that my satchel was found at the Crystal Chateau, and I thought I should claim it at once. You know, as you do, nothing suspicious so far. I was on my way to retrieve it when I found this. And rummaging in his pocket, he pulls out a silver ring with a stripe of metal on it that like this. If we look and roll 20, you'll see it. Yeah, so I was heading back to the chateau and I found this in my pocket. I think someone slipped it into my pocket, but I swear on my life, it is not mine. But it looks like one of the magic items salvaged from Cal Moreau. But I can't be sure. But you believe me, right?
Of course we believe you. But I
there
don't
any
think
Have any
we should
reason
be
to not
touching
believe
that.
you? Mind if we take a look at it? So one of us can be able to investigate more about it.
Sure.
I don't think we should be touching that though. If that's made of ruidium, then that could be problematic.
Yeah, this is the exactly, man. You're right. Caspian, it is ruidium. And what this was found on my possession inside of the Crystal Chateau. And then they're gonna think, oh, he's trying to attack people and claim ruidium artifacts for himself, which is strictly forbidden under the Allegiance of Warside. This is why I think they took my thing, I took my satchel, used it as a way to lure me back to the Crystal Chateau, and plonked this in my pocket. It would be
Wow.
great if you could help me.
Of course, but what do you want us to do? Because if you don't even know who did it, then
I don't know. I have no idea. It could be someone from the Vermilion Dream. It could be someone, I guess, technically within the Allegiance of Warsight or any other of the various factions around the city. I don't know. I do have one thing. I mean, I'm going to basically try and lay low. Someone is out to get me, and I don't want to be got, quite frankly. But your very generous offer. If you'd like to help me, I suggest you go talk to Bookkeeper Kime. Rather delightful half-orc gentleman. And he manages the Omnivore Library in the Sigil District. The reason why I would like you to talk to him is at some point, this ring was salvaged from Kalmaro. And the Bookkeeper Kime keeps track of every item, meticulously detailed about what goes in and out. Maybe if you could find out who initially found this ring, where it came from, maybe there will be some clues about getting behind, you know. So maybe who had this ring originally. That's the only lead I can imagine.
Sorry, Professor. So you're saying someone assaulted you and gave you an item? Quite a
Took my
powerful one as well, because it comes from a place that everyone seems to be trying to get to, but they can't.
Yeah.
also an illegal item.
Did you notice anybody suspicious getting close to you for whatever reason?
Oh.
Maybe typically?
I mean, there was the thief that snatched my satchel. I mean, I technically haven't seen my satchel. But maybe there's something else there as well. I mean, I was literally on my way back to the Crystal Chateau now when I saw you guys, and I panicked when I saw this ring. So number one, they have my satchel. They could be, I guess, if my suspicions are correct, they could be putting all sorts of documents inside my satchel. Plus, me having this ring. Bad combination. It makes me look really bad.
Want us to get your satchel back first?
Well, what are you going to
You have
say,
the satchel,
Thelenor?
right?
Hi, I'd like someone else's satchel so I could give it to him?
Well, perhaps we could give it a go, just to
could
ask
say-
about it, and maybe if they're being very problematic about it, or maybe they could already accuse you of something for being illegally in there, we at least have some extra information that they would
If you want to
find
give
for
me
you.
the ring,
Could
if you
also
want to
just
give me the
explain-
ring, I do know context who might know where it belongs from.
But it belongs to me, and it's in the chateau.
Could also
As you said.
explain to at the chateau that you're busy on some assignment and you asked us to bring you your packed something.
Oh, you could try. So just to clarify, Joe, he was walking down the street. His satchel got stolen. Someone sent a message via the sending spell to meet him at the Crystal Chateau where they will return his satchel. And on his way to going back to the Crystal Chateau to get a satchel, he found this ring in his pocket. I mean, you can try. But yeah. Seems like a bit of a long shot, but yeah, absolutely, you can try.
Whoever's trying to do whatever to you, I think this is the same way of operation that they try to get us. Professor Wisp told us to go to the dome. He told us there might be another entrance. He told us exactly what we wanted to hear. There was nothing in there, and we were there for a good 15 minutes looking around, or half an hour. And then we got attacked. How well do you know Professor Wisp?
I've known him for maybe a couple of years. I wouldn't say he's a close friend.
Could he
Just
could
an
he be
acquaintance.
mind controlled? Could he be mind controlled? Could he be influenced? You're saying that
Anybody can be mind controlled.
you said that different factions are trying to gain access to Kelmoro.
Yes.
Do you think the Cobble's Soul or the Vermilion Dream would go as far as mind controlling people or bribing them
We'll put it this way.
somehow to do things for them?
We have disagreements fundamentally with both the Cobalt Soul and the Vermilion Dream. The differences with the Cobalt Soul is more philosophical, I guess. They preserve to destroy, we prefer to study. But I think both of us, if push comes to shove, we would stand shoulder to shoulder if it meant stopping the consortium dream, using maybe powerful items found inside there. Possibly the Vermilion Dream. Doubtful if the Cobalt Soul would do it. There is another group that's been around, though. Have you heard of someone called the Sentinels of Memory?
Yeah, I think it was Carlisle that mentioned that it could be them as well.
Ah, well, there we go. So it could be the Sentinels of Memory because they want this whole operation shut down. Member of the Allegiance, I find abhorrent, but that is what they do. So maybe them as well. And look, I don't know who it is. And you seem to be suggesting Professor Mist, which I think is ridiculous. But maybe you're right, Edward. Maybe he's mind controlled. Maybe get my satchel back.
Into an ape. I don't know. Magic is weird. I don't understand it.
This is weird.
This coming from the person who uses shadow magic for puppets.
I was born with it. I was tortured for it. Don't particularly like it.
Damn. I was just joking around, man. I didn't mean to cut so deep.
Yeah, magic might make wonderful things, but it also might be controlling Professor Wisp. It might be worth confronting him. Her? Sorry, I think it's a her. It's a she.
Yes.
That's a woman?
Yep, she. I might have said he myself, but she. Professor Wist is a she.
Okie doke.
I mean, you can go talk to Professor Wist, absolutely. But there's also the records to be checked, right? The Omnivore Library with Bookkeeper Kine.
It might be better to check them first because, well, as you say, mister, if somebody's trying to frame us, per se, who's to say somebody's not trying to frame the professor as well?
Well, this is true, but it is me that is getting framed here. But true, maybe there's lots of blackmail or something happening. Bog, you're back with us. Albeit muted. Better, Bog, can you hear us now? You are muted in Discord.
Can you hear me?
Ah, here we
Yeah.
go. Loud and clear.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm back.
Cool. Edward, your turn. Give us a brief recap that Bog was away. What's happened while Bog was away?
Not much. You didn't miss much. We left the River District on our way to the Crystal Chateau. Someone was trying to sneak on us, but he has the skills of a bunch of pots falling down in the kitchen because Thalanil spotted Professor Prolix. Apparently, someone has assaulted him and took his belongings. And through a sending spell, he was told that his satchel is, I forgot what it is. Whilst going there, though, sorry.
Oh, carry on.
Whilst going there, though, he noticed that maybe the same person that assaulted him put an illegal item in his pocket. A ring with ruidium. So Professor Prolix thinks that someone is up to get him or blame him of having illegal items as well. So we're just trying to discuss who could it be and what to do next about this. So there could be the Sentinels of Memory trying to stop us from reaching Kelmoro, or us, by whoever knows about it. It could be the only people that knew that we were at the River District, as well as Professor Prolix's involvement in this, is Professor Wisp. So she might be someone to confront about this as well. And I think that's it. Sorry if I miss anything.
Nope. So the main point, I guess, is someone's looking to frame Prolix for the attack in the Sundome. He thinks he's trying to be framed by A, having an illegal weapon, and B, having his satchel snatched. And he thinks maybe there's some more incriminating evidence inside his satchel inside of the Crystal Chateau.
And
Yeah, it definitely sounds like somebody professional doing this.
What was the name of the person who was with the other group in Betrayer's Rise?
Aloysian?
Boysian.
And have we seen them at all since we got here?
Nope. Remember when you bamfed in, you looked around, they were nowhere to be seen.
I mean, it could also be. Do we know what group she is with?
The Vermilion Dream.
Is
Made that
based
clear
off
to
of
you
what you
back
guys
in
learned.
Bazozan. She told you back in Bazozan. Made no secret of it.
Could be them, maybe. Oh, that's just my only other contribution.
I mean, they seem they seem game in trying to aid us. We could ask them. They said they would report back with anything they knew. if we're playing the intel game here, we might want to lead them into a trap. Tell them that we found something and see who else shows up.
What do you propose we do? Or, I mean, where do you propose we set up this trap?
Well, we were having a conversation with Prolix and Wisp, and they told us to go to the River District, but there was nothing in there, and we got attacked. Perhaps if we do the same with them, tell them that we're going to be somewhere, and we found the entrance to Kelmoro. If we get attacked, we know they're in onto this, and they're reporting to whoever's orchestrating the attacks.
I can also kind of just read their minds for a little bit.
Or we could use magic, yes.
I mean, we could do both.
But that's just a bit more intrusive. We just became slightly okay at being in the same room with them. I would hate to ruin that connection. They might still be useful.
Is
I
it
don't hate them.
possible? Is it possible that someone out that they would be reporting to somebody else we've met?
I mean, if we give them false information, and somehow we get attacked, or let's say Professor Prolix is okay, you get attacked, but we're right there to protect you. Then we know they're not with us, and plus, furthermore, we know that they know who's behind this. Then we can unlock this standstill.
Going along with what Edward's saying, what we could do is we could try to give each of those groups that we suspect, the Sentinels of Memory, the Vermilion Dream, and Lima West, we each give them a different piece of information, but not the whole story. And whichever one they come back to, we'll know they're basically traitors.
I think I have a surefire way to build on your plan and make them give information. Yes, we will absolutely tell them the information of which you speak, but it doesn't necessarily have to be us that says it. Maybe they'd be more open to talking to someone who is well known for wanting us out of the way.
Who you suggest?
He puts us. Daku smirks and he motions for Edward to come closer. I just learned I had magic 5 days ago. Would you like to see what I'm suggesting?
Yes, please enlighten me. My head's already hurting from being an ape.
All right. Daku is going to take a step back. He's going to do a little bit of hand signals, and he's going to go, Rudis or make up, and he casts disguise self to turn into Io Jabe.
Okay.
Caspian just do a magical girl transformation?
Oh no, Daku did a magical girl transformation.
Well, that's impressive. I touch Daku to see if it feels real or is it just an illusion.
Get your hands off me.
I touch his horns. No, she doesn't have horns. She has tusks. Oh, she has a tail. I see if you have a tail and try to grab it.
Do you let him, Daku?
I immediately smack Edward's hand away. You don't touch me.
Make a contested
Now.
acrobatics check.
Okie dokie.
Oh, do you want me to roll for you, Daku? I could do that.
I mean, if you want, I was just gonna roll on D&D Beyond.
Oh, sorry, you got your phone with you. Sure. Yep, do it. Yep, you roll for it. You got to beat a 20. Edward rolled a 20.
Well, that's a 19, so.
Close, but not close enough. Yeah, you take a swipe, you try and get out the way, Daku, but you're, as far as I understand, disguise self, your hand just passes through the tail as if it wasn't there.
Sorry, so what was that?
So disguise self doesn't change. This is how I understand the spell. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the tail is not actually there. So when you go to grab the tail, Edward, your hand just goes completely through the tail as if it wasn't there. Looks like it's there, but it's not.
It's still impressive.
It doesn't look like Io has a tail though in her
No,
artwork.
she doesn't have a tail. She's a Genasi. Yeah, I'll go through the clothes or something.
Yeah, sure.
See that they don't match.
Yeah, you're right. She's a water genasi. Her art maybe suggests maybe she's a tiefling, but no, water genasi. That's why she could swim so well in those initial games you did. Remember how powerful she was swimming? Because she's a water genasi.
Yep. So, Io is known for wanting us out of the picture. So I'm sure if I approach them with the information you give me, they'll believe me 100%, and we can lure them into a trap.
Sure it's Io? She seemed pretty nice when we were talking with her back at the casino or the inn.
Yes, maybe so. And maybe the princess has had a change of heart, who knows? But I think for all intents and purposes, there's enough history to warrant this choice of character. If you think somebody else would be better, please let me know. I can do this about 2 more times.
So
I think the two that we might be starting with is that Aloysia person and Lima West would be the two that we know for right now.
do we know how to approach the Sentinels of Memory? We don't, right? We just want to know.
No, got no idea.
Yeah.
And they're necessarily
So,
secretive.
Out
You can
of
try,
character,
but it's not obvious.
we want to
Yep.
approach Professor Wisp. Tell him something that is not true. Is that it? And the other.
And to my understanding, lure them into a trap of our own design to see if they are the culprits behind it.
So, like, we'll tell Lima West to, like,
We
meet us
found
in.
something in River District. Come and meet us tomorrow. We'll show you. Something like it reacts to the pendant.
Yeah.
Like, we could tell
And
Lima
then-
West we found something in River District. Go to Aloysia and say we found something, in like the Alluvium District or Sandhill District, some other spot. Then, if we can get a hold of the Sentinels of Memory, we give them a third location. Wait.
And I was saying
Players trying to work this out too. Basically,
I was
Good.
Basically, we give them 3 locations, and then whichever one they attack us at, they're the ones they'll probably to look out for.
If we give them locations, though, surely they're just gonna show up there. They're not dumb. They've shown us that they know what they're doing. Perhaps saying that we've got something, but say the different people in the group has it. Like, let's say we found a key that opens a teleportation device or something. And we tell someone that I have it, and then tell someone that Thalanil has it. We'll be putting ourselves into risk here.
But we'll also know
What-
who's the one responsible, depending on who's gets attacked.
That's why I am disguised as Iojabe out of character, just to have a different face, telling them different information, that they'd be more likely to reveal their true intentions with a known rival of ours.
If we tell one group that Edward has like a key, we tell another group that I have it. We can tell another group that Leo has it, looking over at Daku, and then we'll spend the day just kind of tending to do our own thing. And whichever one of us they attack is the group that's the spy.
What do you think,
Okay.
Prolix? Do you think this can work? Do you think we can gain information with this?
It's an interesting idea for sure. I mean, so you've got a key. I mean, there are more ways to retrieve a key from someone than attacking them. I mean, pickpocketing is an option. One might just take it from you, and it's gone. And you have... I mean, they're going to search the key for you, and the key is not going to be there. Saying, you know, sometimes... I mean... Let's assume that the Sentinels of Memory are behind that. And they wanted you guys killed. And what did they send after you? It wasn't agents, it wasn't anybody associated with them. It was literally invisible creatures. So, you might get attacked by who knows what. And let's say you attack... let's assume it's a Vermilion Dream. The head of the Vermilion Dream is not going to come after you personally. The head of the Sentinel of Memory is not going to come after you personally. Limel Whist, who once again is outrageous, is not going to come after you personally. Going to send assassins. Going to send people who are paid to keep their mouth shut if they're caught. I do see some flaws in this plan.
There are magics that can tell that they're lying, though, if we happen to catch their agent.
I think Professor Prolix is right. These creatures that attacked us, they couldn't even speak. There's no information we could get out of them. Other than whoever gets attacked, we know who's the traitor.
That is true.
And even if they're agents, we'll still know who they worked for.
We'll still know. Yeah, we'll still know who's behind these attacks, and then we can face him. I mean, this person wouldn't know he got caught because he wouldn't know you told other people different things. Unless they're all working together. Ah, my head is hurting.
That's a very good point. If they're all working together, they'll see through this in an instant.
The other thing to keep in mind is if they do send assassins, it's going to be one, maybe two people. And we have 3 locations, so one assumes like Edward would team up with Caspian, for example, against a trained assassin? Assassins? Creatures? It's highly dangerous to me. But just put this to say, I certainly appreciate the effort you're putting in to clear my name, but I certainly don't want you to see you being killed. Very risky.
Well, if there's a way we can guarantee the assassins go after me, I've had plenty try to attack me in the past. None have survived.
Surely the whole point, though,
So
is there's 3 different locations. Might be you, might not be you.
So why don't we make it the same location, but with some added
If it's
details?
the same location, we won't know which group it is. The point of giving them different locations and different people is because it'll isolate which one it is.
Yes, I do remember that being said. I'm just thinking out loud because circumstances have changed. We might need to do something additional as opposed to separate locations.
What
Because
if
So Prolix did mention we can go to. Um, what's the name you gave?
Omnivore Library to talk to Bookkeeper Kime,
Keeper Kine.
who is responsible for documenting all artifacts that go in and out of Kalmaro.
seems like a logical next step?
So before we try to jump to any more conclusions, maybe we could go to Bookkeeper Kine.
Sure. Yes.
Probably didn't give their real name, obviously, but we might be able to find something there.
Caspian, what do you say? You normally have solid plans.
I think splitting up is too much of a risk, and I think we should just take them on one by one. And yeah, like I said before, we could just try to. I could just try to read their mind, and if I just trail their surface thoughts, there's no way they're gonna notice. And if we come back to Professor Mist and just read his thoughts about what he expects, I think that's gonna tell us a lot. If he is untrustworthy, at least. If he's trustworthy, then we just go to the next and see what happens.
Yes, I mean, we were going to report to Crystal Chateau anyways. It seems weird if we don't report to Professor Wisp.
yes.
So
But
let's
what
just
about our
do that.
friend? But what
After
about our
according
friend
to
here? If our friend here is trying to be framed, then leaving him alone might be not the best idea.
Well, Prolix, surely you're coming with us, right?
Well,
I could also just turn him invisible for an hour, then he can find a proper hiding spot. And we could contact him again later.
I'll leave that up to you, Caspian. What do you think is best? I mean, we did literally travel through the that dungeon thing. Name is typically
Betrayer's Rise?
the Betrayer's Rise. Yes. So
That is right.
actually, no. I think I'd prefer to stay with you. Yeah, being framed, then I'll need protection, perhaps, and I can think of no better than people like yourself, Caspian. Edward, and all of you, in fact.
So being invisible while we talk to the professor might be a good idea.
There are very powerful magics happening in the Crystal Chateau. I think if I were to be invisible, I'd A, be detected, and B, dispelled, and 3, thrown in jail.
Malcolm, am I
With
allowed
that
to-
happening,
Sorry, go on.
one quick question for Prolix.
Yes.
Does that also mean that if I were to cast some spell like Detect Thoughts, that would fill automatically there?
I know there are, when you enter into the Crystal Chateau, there's like a dispel magic permanently cast there. So when you walk in, invisibility, anything like that will be dispelled straight away. And there are various guards and curator going around, basically, casting things like detect invisibility, and looking out with things like what you're suggesting, like very, very deep, many secrets. So there are wards in place as well to prevent mind reading. I'm not saying it will guarantee to fail, but there's a high chance that you'll be detected. That
Right.
end you up in
So,
jail.
DM, are these measurements on the map correct?
They are correct.
I could basically communicate with my mount from almost anywhere in the city. At least a large portion of it.
sorry, Malcolm. I was
Yes.
going to ask if I could do an insight check when we asked Professor Prolix what he thinks about Wisp, and he said he knows him for 2 years. He's quite
Sure.
trustworthy. Was any sort of doubt in his words?
That insight check.
21. That's not bad.
He is outraged that you'd even think of suggesting Professor Whist.
Gotcha.
So, Theniel, you're saying that our friend here stays with your mount, and your mount lets us know if anything happens?
There's a possibility.
All right. I think that's a very good idea, and I'll add on to it. I can disguise I'm not going to be, he'll snap his fingers and end the disguise self on himself. I do have a less magical means of making our friend here look like somebody else. Just so he isn't sticking out for the prying eyes who want him.
Tell me you're not going to make me the rear end of a horse.
I'm sorry, what?
It's a joke, you know how talking about horses and they can disguise people with the one person in a cloth at the back end of a horse and the other person at the front end of the horse. Yes, so don't make me the back end of a horse. Anything but that. What are you suggesting, Daku?
I'm suggesting, if I'm not going to disguise myself, just as an added security for you, I'll disguise you into looking and acting like somebody else while you're with the horse, and the horse can kind of have an easier time guarding you. I'm sorry, I don't know your horse's name.
It's Thule.
Well, I'm not very good at walking around on horses. And quite frankly, horses are a bit out of place here. We tend to use camels and things of that nature, so a horse would actually be out of place. I do like the idea of disguising me to look like somebody else, though, like just like a commoner or a hand of Ord or something that wouldn't look at all out of place with me going around with you. I do like that idea.
Maybe never mind with being Thule behind. Might draw too much attention.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, Daku, I'd like to look like something else.
I got it. You are a fishmonger.
I am a fishmonger. I love fish. Fish are my life.
And I love quoting
the
Hamlet.
desert.
Oh yes, there are, which there's no fish markets here, friend.
I apologize. It was a line from a novel I read somewhere. What could I make you into? The doctor just kind of goes around this. Daku goes around the gentlefolk, just kind of like pulling out his arms, like measuring width and height with his hands and his eyes.
Yeah,
it's gonna take some. It's gonna take some time, but I could make it. I could make you as a traveling man, lost his wife and son to disease, looking for employment anywhere. Cities have not been too kind to you. You've come to the desert in hopes of some sort of glory or just a 9-to-5 job.
All right, backstory, fantastic.
Yes, I'm very good at those. Anyways, like I said, I will need some time to get this done. So in the meantime, we might want to start heading to the library to get some answers.
Okay.
You want to report back to Lima West before they start worrying about us?
Yeah, I would stress that. Let's go to Crystal Chateau, report. Maybe Caspian can read some thoughts. Edward's not going to suggest that.
Okay. Do you
We
disguise?
can try to
Prolix?
persuade Lima West to give us Prolix bag back.
Well, what we could do is try and surprise him. If let's say, if Professor Wisp was the one that sent us on an errand that he knew was a false one, and we come back with the news that we did find something You would be quite surprised to know that, right? Rather than ecstatic and happy. Uh, Maybe we could do that.
And, yes, let me just put out one poor piece of information. If what you say is true, and you keep on mentioning Professor Whist's game again, you know my feelings on it. If you do find something suspicious about Professor Wisp, I suspect you go directly to the headmaster, Grizz Alcatraz. He is the one to bring any evidence you might find against Professor Wisp.
We could find him at the Crystal Chateau?
Yes, yes.
Well, if in fact he acts strangely to this news, I don't know if you're in or not, lying to him. I look at Caspian. Um, then that surely indicates he's with the Sentinels of Memory, right? Or certainly he has a hidden agenda. But yeah, okay. If we find something, we report to Headmaster.
Yes.
What do
Where-
you say, guys? I'm really bad at lying.
We can do that. I will work on the disguise in the meantime. Your clothes might be a little bit big on you, by the way.
Everything is really big on me.
Okay, so back to the chateau to talk to Professor Weil. Wist.
While we're walking, Daku is going to make small adjustments to the common clothes in his bag, rubbing them in dirt as they walk a little bit and just kind of sewing the sleeves back a bit.
Okay. Okay, so you head back into the Crystal Chateau. Once again, these magnificent marble floors, people studying, people praying. And you go to match up again with Professor Whist? Yes?
Yes.
So Professor Whist, you find her where you left her in her study. She says, I wasn't expecting you back quite so soon. Tell me, is there indeed an entrance to Calamaro underneath that River District Canal?
Malcolm?
Yes.
The moment basically just before we turn the corner into her office, I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts.
Yep.
And I'm casting it through my, I think it's psionic spell ability. It's an ability that means I don't have to use any components to cast it.
I assume that costs some
So-
sorcery points?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. So you use no verbal, somatic, or material components, and you cast the spell. I'm just going to have you roll a d20. It's Caspian. Okay, and I'm not going to tell you what that d20 means unless something comes up. But as far as you're casting Detect Thoughts on Professor West, of course.
No, I'm casting it on myself. I just can read the surface thoughts of someone I choose.
You can read the thought. Okay, cool. Okay, so you walk in and he says, I didn't expect to see you back so soon. Now tell me, is there in fact an entrance to Calamaro under the river district there? What did you discover? Please tell me.
Well, we mostly discovered that we are being targeted.
Being targeted? Outrageous.
I would like to insight check that.
And detect thoughts.
And yeah,
I'll
I'd
see.
like to know what the surface
Save.
thoughts are. And yeah, like the spell says,
Yeah, no save for it.
no, just as if I don't dig deeper, they don't need to make a save, and it's just surface thoughts.
Okay, and roll that. Oh, there's the insights. Not great insights.
Nope.
His surface thoughts are, I would really like to have some pancakes for breakfast.
Pick something. Okay, well, first of all, Bog, Thalanil. Oh, Duck, I think probably rolled 2. I'm going to check the D.
It's an 11. Nothing
11.
special.
Oh, okay, so, don't detect anything. So, detect thoughts. So without digging deeper, the surface thoughts are surprise, and a little bit of nervousness. Yeah, surprised and nervous. That's what you get. And no one's come in and said, "How dare you cast spells?" So it seems your 15 might have snuck through their random people casting dispel magics and detect thoughts and all those type of stuff. The nervousness and surprised broke off through. So you say somebody has attacked you. Who attacked you? Who was it?
Well, who did you tell? Like, you were the only one we talked to that knew we were going there.
Who did I tell? I didn't tell anybody.
Well, if you
Yes.
didn't tell anybody, then you're the only one that could know.
Well, I know I sent you there. I mean, yeah,
Yes, but
you almost seem to be accusing me, Caspian.
well, if you didn't tell anyone else, then either you're being spied on, or
Or
it's you. Or it is you. Is it?
it's not me, Caspian, and I resent the implication. I have welcomed you into the Allegiance of Orside. I've given you important missions. I have trusted you. I gave you with a possible lead to where Calamaro is. You come at me throwing around these baseless allegations. I suggest you leave at once.
Surely you understand, Professor. We just nearly got killed by invisible killers. The only people that knew that we were gonna be there were you and Professor Prolix. We've confronted Professor Prolix with the same questions. Someone
I don't even
knew
think
that we were
Professor...
gonna be there.
By the way, did I pick up on any surface thoughts as I was accusing him?
Yes, you did. Just think.
I think it's
That's why I was going so hard.
Yes. His level of panic is increasing. More panic. It's just outrageous. You come at me with these baseless accusations. Look, let's just assume that you're correct. What possible proof do you have? When you're wandering down the streets, who knows what you talked about on the ways there? Who knows? Maybe it's the gnome there. Maybe he wanted you to not dig deeper. Did you ever think about that? You were attacked there in the dome. Why? Do you come to me? Maybe it was the gnome trying to stop you. Did you ever think about that? I don't think you're even worthy of being mentioned in the same time frame as the Allegiance of Orside. Plainly not using your brains.
I thought you mentioned
The
Carlisle.
gnome risked her life to try to protect us and the Lifedome when we were attacked.
Oh,
She was involved.
the perfect cover. Did she die? Was she injured?
No, but
So
you
use your
to
brain.
Understand. Then
Sorry, I just enjoy being an asshole.
Professor,
Carla only noticed us for a minute. It's not possible to prepare something like that. And are you absolutely certain you did not tell anyone? Because we are certain that we talked to no one on the streets. No one knew. We are careful. We've been through this for quite a bit, and quite a bit of danger.
Seems you
I'm
have
sorry
a
for
mystery
directly
to
accusing
solve.
you.
It seems you have a mystery to solve. Interesting questions. What's the answer? I don't have the foggiest idea. Guards!
Well,
Escort these people from my premises. Escort them away, please. And
it's a shame you're sending us away since we found an entrance to Kelmoro.
Ooh, make a deception check, Edward. You could find your left ass cheek with both hands.
Can Emek give it an advantage?
Sure.
If I lie, can I use my ability to? Oh wait, give him advantage. Yeah. Never mind.
Edward, roll again.
Oh, please, Lord of God.
Not too bad at
Oh,
this.
she actually has the DM's inspiration as well. That's better.
Any chance I can give him a quick bardic inspiration?
No, because that would take an action to cast bardic inspiration, and he's already in the middle of his deception, so I don't think that kind of works mechanically.
Fine.
Gotcha.
Maybe give him one now, just so we have it.
Sure, you can give him one now if you like, Daku, but it won't be relevant for this role.
Give Professor West a little special look over with divine eyes.
Okay, what does divine eyes do?
Divine senses, rather.
Oh, yeah, he's not fey, fiend, or undead, or anything like that.
And Edward is like turning his back away from him and moving out, saying, "Oh, it's a shame, since we found so many things that we could share with you." But
yeah, that's what I put.
Okay. Yep. So no. Okay. So I'll let you know if any fey, fiend, celestial, undead, that type of thing comes up. Not fey, celestial, fiend, or undead. Yes. Look, if you found something and you're hiding it, using it as some type of leverage against me, Edward, you're in serious trouble. You're in enough trouble as much as it is. Accusing a member of the Allegiance of Warsight of some type of assassination attempt. Outrageous! Guards, escort these people from the premises.
You just did the same. Isn't Carlisle a member of the Allegiance of Warsight?
No.
You just said she did it.
I don't know. I don't know who did it. I do not know. I just know it's not me. As I said, you have a mystery to solve, and I wish you good luck.
All right.
Why don't you want to help us? It's not you.
We will not.
I think it'll benefit if everyone would just calm down a bit. Think we can still talk things through? And can I cast calm emotion over the room?
I'm gonna wild shape into a giant octopus.
That escalated quick.
Okay, two things.
Let's calm our emotions. Octopus time.
Yes, both of you can do that. Keep in mind that Prolix said that those type of spells here are very frowned upon. But you can absolutely cast it if you like. Like he realized, like if he warned Caspian that if his caught catching a spell could have serious consequences. So with that in mind, would you still like to cast that, Thelenon?
I'll second that. No.
Okay. With that in mind, would you still like to be an octopus for some strange reason, Bog?
No, that was a joke.
Okay. I always have to check with players, you know. Maybe the octopus was the ultimate move. Maybe you could pickpocket him 8 times at once. The guards come up. They interpose themselves between you and the
D&D
professor.
players, you never know.
That's the thing. That's the beauty of D&D. You can do anything, including turning into an octopus for no apparent reason.
I would like to
Malcolm.
say something to the professor before we leave.
Cool. Caspian has something he wants to ask Malcolm as opposed to the professor. Caspian.
Can I give the professor a quick one-over perception check for any ruidium sickness?
Sure. Yeah, good idea. Make a perception check. And only Caspian can do that, because only Caspian came up with the idea. But that's a good idea. Just going to whisper something to you, Caspian. Okay.
Whilst you're reading the whisper, Edward would say, what's the name of the headmaster? Master Grizz. Well, we would still like. It seems like we can't talk to you, but we'd still like to report what we found to.
Did
the headmaster.
I stutter? Guards, take them out of here! And the guards start physically pushing you towards the entrance.
Am I able to say my thing before we leave?
Sure, he might ignore you.
No need for that, Professor West. Be seeing ourselves out.
Okay.
Yes, we have offended you dearly, and we do apologize for this. We hope that we can mend
don't
relationships in the
care.
future.
Just
said,
go.
though, we always find out those who are after us.
Just go. The guards start pushing you out. Unless somebody resists, then you find yourself back into the city streets. Actually, they push you down into the foyer of the Crystal Chateau. They don't kick you out, but they definitely push you well away, just into the main foyer area. Prolix, who didn't go in, are looking like. Did you cast Disguise Self on him yet, or Disguise on him?
Is that supposed to be in character?
No.
Sorry.
Okay. What do you do? You're in the foyer of the Crystal Chateau.
Let's get out of here, guys. Let's have a quiet chat.
Okay, back
So
out
we're all
into
in
the city.
agreement that it was probably him, right?
Yes, but Malcolm,
Yes.
would I be familiar enough with the headmaster to cast sending and send him a message? I've got his name. I know some things about him.
To a creature which you are familiar.
With sending, you just need to know their name, right?
With which you are familiar. I mean, you know his name. I think actually yes. Yes. It's from a different. Yes, you can. You have his name. You can send him a message.
Do you guys think it's wise to just send the headmaster a message? We don't have concrete proof yet, but maybe we can warn him to be wary. And there is some proof because I saw a relatively clear red rash on his wrist that seemed like an indication of ruidium poisoning.
Oh, that's interesting. I think, yeah, that's a great idea. I mean, I don't think we can do much about it now that the guards have an eye on us. I think if you can send a message to the headmaster, maybe that's our way back into the Allegiance of All site. Meanwhile, maybe we can try and help Prolix get his belongings at the library.
And we could also talk to the people that found the ring, maybe.
Yeah, I thought that was it.
I would still like to try to get Prolix back his belongings.
If all connections with the Allegiance of All Side are closed, we still have the Cobalt Soul. Maybe we try not to screw that one up. Professor Prolix said that they might be able to allow us in as well.
I don't think we're completely done with the Legion of All Side. We still have Professor Prolix and his contacts.
We just got escorted by the guards.
We have Prolix and the bookkeeper, as well as perhaps maybe this headmaster.
Yeah, send the headmaster a message.
Alright,
Okay.
let me just take a minute to word this properly.
Count to 25.
Yep.
Do you mind if I head back inside to see if I can get Prolix's bags back?
Yeah, certainly try.
She's going to take a breath in and kind of fill herself with divine radiant light of confidence, using her channel divinity. For the next 10 minutes, have a +5 to charisma persuasion checks,
Ooh.
and I'll head back inside the chateau.
Okay. The Thelano heads back into the chateau. And what do you do? There's like a in the main foyer there are like a receptionist type people.
Excuse me, ma'am, at the front desk.
Yes, what is it?
I am assistant of Professor Prolix. As you know, the professor is very busy with his latest work at the moment, and he has asked me if I could bring his belongings with him that he left behind.
You're talking about his satchel that was stolen that found its way back here.
Yes. He's a very busy man, and he would like it returned back to him.
And you are?
I am Thalanel.
You look familiar. Make a persuasion check and add that beautiful 5 onto it.
This will be with a +5.
Cool.
A 21.
Oh, Thelanil. Certainly. And she goes back into her storage rooms, comes back with a satchel. Just sign here, please, miss. And she hands you like a clipboard to sign on.
Yes, thank you very much. I'll sign her name on the clipboard.
Yes, your name, please. Just sign here.
She signs it Thalanel.
Okay, you have the
Do I have her
satchel.
last name? Thalanel Starglow.
Okay. Have the
Thank
satchel.
you very much.
That's
Thank you
right,
very
ma'am.
much.
Have a good day. Please pass my regards on to Professor Prolix.
I will.
In the
And
meantime,
headed back out the door.
okay, party briefly separated. Caspian, if you come up with your sending.
Yes. I'm gonna send.
Mm-hmm.
Professor Wist is infected by ruidium poisoning and is involved in the attack on the Lifedome. We'll be collecting evidence. Stay alert. The answer.
The answer. You hear an Orca's voice coming back. You're making some very serious accusations. I have heard of you before, and I will take it on good faith for the moment. Make such an accusation against such a powerful figure, you are right. We will need evidence. And also, you must And it cuts out. 25 words expired.
You must be smarter than that.
Okay, so he's aware, but basically said you need evidence.
Yeah.
Okay. Eleanor, you have the satchel. You guys all meet up. What do you do?
Back up with Prox and hand him his satchel back.
Oh, thank you very much. Let me have a look. And he starts rifling through it. Everything appears to be in perfect order. Nothing appears to be planted or anything. So that's something at least. But thank you for getting back my satchel. I very much appreciate it.
Is everything in there as well that is supposed to be? Nothing else was stolen from you?
Nope. Everything appears to be in perfectly good order. Nothing's missing. Nothing's added.
Alright, then I think we should go to Bookkeeper Kime in the Omnivore Library.
I think that's a
And then the next
fantastic
plan
idea.
as well is giving us some way to deal with this ruidium sickness you found, right?
Well, I think that's a problem that Professor Wist has, and that we can't do anything about at this point.
Might be difficult trying to get back to him to try to deal with it, though.
The only
Well,
way
we
we
said
will be able to
said
deal
it.
with it is when he's behind bars.
We need proof. That's what we need.
Somewhere you
we know-
hear in the distance, almost across plains, you hear the sound, Father, come collect us from school. I need to go grab my kids, guys, so we'll end it there, and we'll pick up with you guys probably checking out Bookkeeper Kime, but feel free to change it. But I do need to dash, and we'll see you guys next week.
Okay.
See you next
guys.
week.
Guys.